Hey, all you podcast listeners, you can find Slice of the Paranormal everywhere podcasts are found, or you can watch us on our YouTube channel.
Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to this podcast. I'm Ryan, this is Steven, this is Christy.
Hello.
And when we form...
We are Megatron.
Paranormal.
Oh, Slice
Megatron's
of the
good, too.
Paranormal, yeah.
I don't think people form from Megatron. Devastator would have
We all
worked.
need like special rings. you know?
Voltron.
Voltron, that's who I meant.
Slice of the Paranormal. That's
who we are.
We're a podcast, we do stuff.
We're a
We
weekly
investigate-
podcast.
Weekly podcast where we
Yes.
investigate haunted histories and paranormal mysteries and
Swamps.
ghosts and witches
things
and stuff.
and swamp things.
Psychiatric ward tortures.
Psychiatric war torture.
Yeah. And then also, at one point, we do review pizza.
We always check out a local pizza place when we're
Yeah.
in town investigating and review it on the show.
It would now be a good time to just say thank you to Cup of Code. Just thanks to our new sponsors,
Sure.
since we're mentioning pizza. Thanks, guys.
Yep, thanks Cup of Code. We appreciate it.
Yeah, our website is looking pretty good. It's going to be up soon. So soon our guests will be able to go to sliceoftheparanormal.com
There you go.
and have
can go
direct
right now.
links. Oh, you can go right
Yep,
now.
Slice of Paranormal. What's up?
Have links to all our all our episodes.
Everything. All our information's up there. It's pretty cool. It's a nice page.
Yeah.
They did a good job. And thanks for sponsoring us. Anyway,
Absolutely.
we are today... Now, before we do this, can I tell you, I'm on the wrong side of TikTok right now.
You've upset TikTok?
I think I upset the TikTok gods because I am on rich people eating mermaid TikTok. Are you familiar?
I am not.
Let me tell you.
I did see a mermaid getting fished out of the ocean not too long ago on TikTok, but
Like
I
a-
didn't.
a video of
yeah, but I didn't see
Yeah.
anybody eating them.
I mean, we went, I don't know
went
what
down the
happened.
rabbit hole.
I don't know what happened because I was just watching funny dog videos and then all of a sudden that happened. So, but that's how my brain works. So that, cause it does match my algorithm. I
But
guess.
wait, did you watch the full video?
Yeah, who's
of
eating
a
the mermaid?
mermaid
No,
being
there's
eaten?
no mermaid eating. It's just stories being told. There's
But
no.
did you listen to the full episode?
It's just TikToks. They
Yeah,
don't-
but TikTok's
they don't
now like
count.
this guy's into eating out mermaids.
They're just
you know?
somebody trying
That's
to
quite
get
a difference, Steve. Eating
that's
out a mermaid, or
Oh yeah, that sounded
That's
bad.
a whole
that's
different.
Yeah, went down a totally
TikTok
different road
now.
there.
If my TikTok went there, we wouldn't be talking about
Now we
it.
know what Steve likes.
You know, whatever.
Steve's TikTok algorithm's a little bit different.
Yeah, my wife, anytime something comes up that it's like death or morbid, she's like, "It's because you're in the room with me."
Yeah,
Probably.
picks
That's
it
why
up
this
from you.
stuff's showing
Look
up.
what's showing up my Facebook feed.
Like, yeah, I'm sorry.
Do I want to buy a coffin?
Yeah. Well, you know, the first time
How
I
about a
flew-
skeleton?
First time
I
I
don't
flew
know.
with her,
Femur?
some guy walked up and he was like, handed me a piece of paper. He's like, "Give this to the security people."
What?
And I looked at my wife. I'm like, "They're gonna anal probe me, right? That's what's happening."
Yeah, don't do that.
So I gave it in, and she's like, "I have never been searched," but we got the full on search because
you?
I was wearing a top hat.
This
So
guy.
You could
top
put a lot of
hats,
stuff under that top hat.
You could.
if you had to.
but yeah,
That
whatever.
people do.
Sure, but it's also very obvious too. Like,
Yeah, like
Check the
I'm
guy
not
with the top
trying to
hat.
sneak anything, but
That
this
is a
hat.
good show. How to Catch a Whatever. You ever see that one?
oh yeah, How to Catch a Smuggler and
Smuggler.
stuff.
That's
yeah,
a good one.
I saw one recently where they had like cocaine all under their toupee.
Yeah,
like,
see?
and they were ripping the hair off the guy, and he's like, oh, so embarrassed because he had
Could
all
have been a
this.
cocaine hat.
Yeah,
Could have been a cocaine hat, but it wasn't.
yeah, it was packed, crazy.
Luckily for me, to get to Trenton, New Jersey, we did not require a flight.
Nope,
Yeah,
not
that was
overseas at all.
Not overseas.
Just
So
over
we-
state lines.
No one was trying to anal probe us while we went there, even though it was during the
think they
heyday of
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
the drones. Remember, we were looking in the
Oh,
sky.
yeah, we were looking
Yeah,
for the
we
drones.
were.
We were looking
It
for
was
New
drone
Jersey
season.
drones. It was drone season. So
Trenton, New Jersey.
we went to Trenton, New Jersey. Trenton's probably most known for the first Battle of Trenton. Everyone imagines George Washington fording across the Delaware.
Yeah, the huge Delaware.
The huge Delaware, which is, you could probably throw a rock over it if you're
Right,
a football player. And he captures a lot of Hessians. That's like his first battle he wins. He's like
Hessians again.
I know, it's this theme.
How are
with
they
Hessians.
so popular in history, yet I've never heard this word until the past 6 months?
well, because you didn't hang out with me enough, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Or you
always
didn't
talking
watch
about Hessians.
Sleepy Hollow, because they talk about Hessians.
They mentioned the Hessians?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, and it's
I'm a little
Pennsylvania.
glazed.
There's a lot of like more
German.
Hessian lore, German lore in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Hessians were down there, and that's when we beat their asses and kind of, handed it to them. So we go to Trenton, New Jersey, because the Trenton Lunatic Asylum is there. Now,
Real
allowed to
PC
say
name,
lunatic
too.
now?
I know.
well, that's not its name now.
That was its name.
That's one of its. That's my favorite of its names, I
Right.
should say.
Yeah.
So that's why I called that.
Yeah.
This episode that. But it's at 100 and Sullivan Way in Trenton, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And the hospital was originally opened as the New Jersey State Hospital, so a lot more PC. And that it opens up in like 1848, and it later becomes the New Jersey State Lunatic Asylum.
That's the name of it then.
That's the name of it.
It was
That's the
officially
middle name.
changed.
It was
Middle
officially
name.
changed.
Yeah.
You can't have that. We gotta.
Yeah. This
Today-
name's too good. We need to make this controversial.
To be less controversial,
Mm-hmm.
it is now known as Trenton Psychiatric Hospital.
Ah, yes.
So it's the first institution that's built under the Kirkbride Plan. So we have a picture of the building, what it looks like from the front.
Right.
And what the Kirkbride Plan is you have a central administration building and then what looks like bat wings of halls radiating out from
Yeah.
it. Almost like a Batman symbol, kind
And
of.
it kind of moves back as it goes too.
Yeah,
It
it's
progresses
like
backwards.
steps back.
If you want to follow along, join us on our YouTube channel. You can see the pictures we're talking about. And if not, we'll post them on our social media. Usually,
Yeah, usually. And now, the Kirkbride Plan
Usually we do.
is started by the Philadelphia psychiatrist Thomas Story Kirkbride. And
Story Bride.
Kirkbride, yes. He's the system is focused on like natural light and the proper airflow movement in through the building. So
That's why it's the bat wings.
that's
kinda
why it's
thing?
the bat wing. It's
It's
supposed
a
to.
massive undertaking of a building.
It's huge. It really is. And that's what it starts out as. It grows over time. So this hospital was founded by a girl named Dorothea Dix. Now, Dorothea Dix, we have a picture of her. She's a pioneer in the treatment of mental health patients.
Is it the black and white, like oval?
It's a
picture?
black and white oval image.
Cool picture.
In 1844, she did investigations of the conditions of different New Jersey prisons and almshouses where they held the poor.
Alms.
Alms,
Like
yeah.
alms for the poor. You ever hear that?
Alms for the poor.
Oh,
You never
it
heard
does
it?
sound familiar.
Yeah.
But what's a
It's an alm, A-L-M.
It just means like something, right? Like
Yeah, like if you couldn't afford to live, like even in Gettysburg, you were shipped to the poorhouse, the almshouse. You couldn't afford to live. You had no means of making money.
Okay.
So they would send you to the almshouse, which typically grew their own food and were self-sufficient. And they put you to work for the benefit of the almshouse and to give you a place to live.
Okay.
So
cool
it-
program, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, so like Jenny Wade's father was in the almshouse in Gettysburg. So that's why you don't hear much about the father because he's not there.
Oh.
He's at the almshouse. But she investigated what's happening at these places, and it led to her petitioning the state to release funds to build this mental health facility. So she's seeing a lot of the negativity that's out there in the mental health industry.
And this is what time?
The site opens in 1848.
Okay, so we're still back then.
So when it first opens, it's got like 86 patients. By 1853, it's up to like 250 patients. And at its peak, it had 4,237 patients.
Dang. Oh,
And that was in 1994 or 1954 that it hit its
So
peak.
100 years later.
So it's from that point, it starts,
4,000?
yes, 4,237
I mean, it was a
patients.
big building. Could it accommodate that many?
Oh, my
Not
Like
comfortably.
comfortably? No.
No. And that's the problem. Overcrowding becomes a problem. And the site even had a riot in the 1960s. Now, this riot led to the destruction of some parts of the facility. So today, there are portions of that facility that are completely closed and abandoned. If you look online, you can find images of like beds in some of these wards that have plants growing out of them because no one that works there even goes in them anymore.
Yeah, I watched a video about abandoned places in New Jersey last night, and that was one of them.
Yeah.
And these people got right in, and okay, the video was maybe 12 years ago, so it wasn't super current, but they got right in. They were walking along, walkers like in the rooms, the bed's still there, all the equipment there. Like, it was creepy, but
now
weird too.
Our viewers and listeners, I do want to point out that this site is still utilized. It's heavily patrolled, and remember we were driving around it, there's like a fence.
Oh yeah, there's fences
all around
everywhere.
it. So I would suggest not trying to break in.
Right.
Obviously, if you want to see what it looks like, if you had broken in, look online. There's other people that post that stuff. But we try to go and do these things above board.
We're not trying to mess with. Yeah.
We're not trying to break into any sites or trespass. But she was trying to improve the system of healthcare. So to understand why she was fighting it, you kind of have to look at what mental health treatments were in like the 1700s and 1800s to understand what she's thinking about.
Right.
Well, and she wasn't there when there was 4,000. She was probably long past.
Yeah, she was long past. But when she was thinking about this plan, there were things that were happening, like there was cold water, ice cold water would be thrown on the patients to calm them down. We know that really works. They would be strapped into a tub for hours.
Yeah.
And be soaked. Straitjackets, cages, chains. These things were like the norm. Common stuff. So going back even further, when we went to Philadelphia,
can you imagine the crazy stuff that would have went down there, plus the time period. So it's not like
hygiene. Wasn't
hygiene's a whole thing.
Oh, hygiene,
it's horrible.
Hygiene was horrible even up until the 1980s, in these type of things. Because, I don't know if you ever watched the video, Suffer the Children. You guys remember seeing that?
The Geraldo one, right?
Where they, went into Penhurst and they were found people naked, found people in cages.
Yeah.
So the treatment of the mentally ill has been horrible forever.
Almost as long as there's been people.
Yeah. And there's always a need, for a place for them to go.
Now, we just went down to Philadelphia, and we were walking around Independence Hall, and I'm not sure how much of it you guys remember, but it'd point out places, it'd be like, that's where Dr. Benjamin Rush lived, or whatever. Yeah. Well, Dr. Benjamin Rush is considered the father of American psychiatry.
Oh, okay.
And his house was in Philadelphia, which isn't that far from Trenton. But one of the pictures we have is of a device he invented called the tranquilizer chair. You are essentially strapped to a freaking chair, and you have a box put over your head to block all sensory information.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to calm you down, right?
But it's just this box?
It's just a box around your head while you're strapped to a chair.
It's literally, it has there's like a view thing in the front. I'm not sure.
And
what that's all
you
about.
would be stuck in that for hours.
Well, yeah, there's a poop bucket underneath.
Oh, yeah, you weren't getting out for a while.
Wasn't that used in Saw or something? I don't watch the Saw movies, but I feel like there was some kind of device.
Strapped in like an electric chair.
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible.
I think I saw the episode you're talking about.
Yeah.
Is it the one where the device, if she didn't get out in a certain time period, it flipped?
Something like that.
Split her head or something.
Yes, I don't like torture stuff that much in movies, but
Dr. Benjamin Rush was thinking he was doing good, so he wasn't trying to split their heads.
This was not a torture device necessarily.
That's not what he meant it for.
It was meant to calm him. I guess the way like horse blinders. Maybe that's what he's thinking. Calm it.
He's thinking it's gonna be calm.
Or the way they hood a bird, a raptor.
And if you think about it,
maybe.
Nowadays we have the weighted blankets, because some people feel calm when they have a weighted blanket. So
Temple Grandin, shout out Temple Grandin. She's amazing in that whole area.
Exactly.
Of, the hug machine and everything.
She created the hug machine.
Oh yeah, I love her.
Temple is an amazing woman, but
Yes.
she's also. It's weird that she felt so sympathetic to cows,
Right.
And
But yeah,
wanted to
it
make
made a shoot to lead them to their slaughter.
She wanted to make their slaughter more enjoyable. So
Hey, though, but that good for her. If she knew they were
Yeah.
gonna die anyway, why not make it not scary for them?
no,
I think it's great.
My hat is off. to
Yeah.
her. Now, there's other types of things that people are getting done to them when you are in the mental health field at this time period. There's a thing called trepanation where they literally drill a hole into your head.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, I know. I got a picture of this.
and it's like to try to think of a lot of the things are very religiously based. They think that
Right.
you obviously have a demon in you. How do we get the demon out of your head? Let's drill a hole in it.
Yeah.
So
That's-
Yeah, it's an old school drill too. So
Yeah,
it's like
it's
a
like-
hand drill.
it's like Grandpa.
Yeah.
I'll fix
That's
you up.
horrible.
So 2 things on trepanation. One thing is, yes, demons in the skull. Yeah, that could have been like one use for it. But another was,
to get demons out.
yeah, to get demons out of your head. But the other one, it's been found in very ancient skulls, holes drilled in their head.
Oh, yeah.
Usually shaman or people of like religious in their tribes or whatever. So it's thought that it increases blood flow to the top of your brain, which would make you be more attuned to the universe and to the spirits. So trepanation actually is another way to become closer to God or the universe or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And the other thing about trepanation is I'm pretty sure that's what Egon was referencing in Ghostbusters. When they're like, you would have drilled a hole in your head. You were trying to drill a hole in your head. He goes, that would have worked if you hadn't stopped me.
Oh,
I think that's what he was talking about.
interesting.
There are positives to trepanation. I don't want to throw it in a completely negative vein.
And hey, just putting this out there. Do not drill a hole in your head. We're not doctors. We are not. I mean, you do your own thing.
Yeah, don't
We're
do
not
it.
suggesting that you do any of that.
Yeah, like you have to imagine if people like Jeffrey Dahmer are doing this in their apartment, it's probably not a good wise thing to do.
I saw a special on it when I was little. Like these kids were like drilling holes in their head to I don't.
Kids?
They're all it was like a kid thing. It was like I don't think any of them lived.
What show was that, Ryan?
Like
I don't
2020
know.
or one of them specials.
It's 'cause
It's probably
of the
Satanic Panic.
Probably
Yeah.
watched it on TikTok.
I probably watched it on
Yeah.
TikTok.
Wondering why he's got this horrible TikTok algorithm.
Look, if
Eating
you're not
out
on
mermaids.
Rich people eating mermaids TikTok, then you're not living life the way you need to be.
Yeah, something's wrong.
Yeah, you got to check yourself. So, then there are other things. There's electric shock therapy where they're putting electrodes to your head, you know, and they're zapping you with electricity. Because when electricity is, you know, figured out in the 1700s, I mean, one of the first things they did was start shocking each other at parties, you know, and that ultimately leads into the medical field.
You ever been to one of them parties?
I'm telling you, like, we are living in the town where Joseph Priestley House is, and there's a static electricity machine.
Oh.
So, like, the static electricity machine, they would have a party, huff some nitrous oxide,
Get all charged up.
and charge it up, and then watch their hair raise on
Yeah.
end,
Yeah.
and shock each other for fun. So
Walking around, dragging their feet on the carpet in their socks. Like,
Yeah.
it's not as fun for mental health patients because they have a tongue depressor. They're getting shocked with like high voltage, not
Yeah.
static electricity.
Yeah.
have
And then-
either of you ever been tased?
They say
I have not been tased. Brian, you go to bars a lot. Have you been tased?
not recently.
I tased myself once.
Did you?
But it wasn't like the kind that shoot out the electrodes. It was like a personal safety
like a little
tase.
one of these guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did my arm.
I mean,
It hurt, but I didn't like fall over. Or
I was
anything.
drunk at a
I didn't
party
die.
once, and we had a dog shock collar,
Oh,
and we
I've
took
done that.
times.
Oh, that's brave.
We would wear the dog.
You actually put it on your
the
neck.
shock collar and would set it off on each other.
Oh my gosh.
For shits and giggles.
That would be a scary night. You never
Figure if
know
you're
when
gonna
it would
put it on
happen.
your dog. You want to know how it feels.
Yeah.
Listen, when you're drunk, it's not as scary as you think.
Yeah.
You know, it's
We
just
can
something
get Steve
else.
to do a lot more. I think we just,
Yeah.
I think we've just unlocked the key right there.
They're like,
Cracking the
get
code.
Steve
Yeah.
drunk. We can get him to wear a dog shock
we can
collar.
do whatever we want.
And then the last thing I want to point out in evil things that they used to do to mental health people is lobotomies. Mm-hmm. You know, where they shove the ice pick up into your brain and just swish it around
Like the
a little
Egyptians.
bit and try to make you calmer.
And that was so common. It was almost done like by appointment. Like families would come in, and if the mom was kind of depressed,
the guy that did them, he'd go into a place and he'd do 50 in a day.
yeah, it was
nothing.
and they just explain it very calm. We're just going to go in through your nose and this, and then they'd come out like a different person. Oftentimes,
Oh, totally.
have no emotion.
Yeah, like a whole different, like almost like they're not even there.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Almost like not a person at all anymore.
So, why are we at Trenton?
Why are we talking about brain drilling?
And brain drilling, and the real horrors of Trenton start in 1907. A guy named Henry Andrews Cotton gets hired and goes there to work.
Is he the presidential looking picture?
He is the presidential looking picture. Now, Henry Andrews Cotton, he believed mental health was affected by bacteria and infections. So he believed if you removed infections from the patients, that their mental health would improve. So to help people.
I mean, he's not wrong.
well, yeah, but basically, like if you had a bad tooth,
Oh, I've heard
he
that
would
too. A lot of
think
people
that was making you
pull
crazy.
teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd pull teeth, and that led to pulling tonsils, cutting out spleens, colons, ovaries, and other various
he
organs.
didn't stop at just
Stuff you
the
don't
teeth.
need. Whatever's evil, take it out.
Well, I mean, and it was, look, have you ever gotten an infection on your arm? Dr. Cotton would have cut off your arm
Right.
to get rid of the infection. And while he's doing
I don't want the
this-
bad in me. I mean, take the evil out.
Yeah, while he's doing this, he's actually claiming, I have a 90% success rate, you know? It's all working. They're
Yeah.
better, Well, they don't have
The ones
the
that live.
infection. The ones that exactly. Because this guy had a 45% mortality rate.
Yeah.
What he didn't tell people was, I'm killing hundreds of people
Right.
by practicing what I'm doing.
There was like a chart that showed like people that had the surgeries and people who didn't, and he was trying to claim, look, you can see I'm having this huge success rate, but people who weren't treated were having a higher success rate of being healed
dead,
than his patients were who were being treated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So his whole concept was called biological psychiatry. And by 1925, the evils that he was committing led to high mortality rates, but his ideas were starting to become investigated
He had
Investigated by what? The government? Or?
by the state, of New Jersey.
Now he was a big fan of Kellogg, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and Kellogg was the one that was all about eating the cereal all the time and having healthy poops.
Healthy poops.
Healthy poops. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that Cotton was a big disciple of his. So you can kind of see the
Isn't
correlation.
Kellogg the guy that thought that if you had good breakfast cereal, you'd probably masturbate less too?
Yeah,
I
no.
think so, yeah.
He made like all these weird machines too to like keep you from getting any arousement. And like graham crackers are
Yeah.
meant to keep you from getting horny, I guess. Like that's why they were invented.
Whoa.
Yeah. They were supposed to be a libido suppressor.
Kellogg's
Maybe
cornflakes
that's why-
definitely does that for me.
Maybe that's why we had so many s'mores at Boy Scout camps, to keep our counselors from wanting to get
Oh, the
out.
dark side of the
dark
s'more.
side of the s'more.
Or I guess it would be the light side of the s'more.
Maybe
right?
that could be an
That's a good
episode.
T-shirt episode or a T-shirt for us.
Exactly.
That would be cool.
Now, Dr. Cotton retires in 1930. He dies in like 1933.
Okay.
So you think like his removing of infections would stop? No. They continued doing it till the 1950s.
Oh wow.
So
1950s.
yeah. So ultimately,
People don't want to admit they're wrong, or they followed somebody that was wrong.
It's just how we do
Yeah,
it.
this
This
is-
is
there
just
were
how we
people
do.
during Dr.
It's not
Cotton's
supposed to
reign
be.
of terror that thought he was right, and they continued moving forward.
Right.
So that leads us to today. So why is Trenton Psychiatric Hospital considered the most haunted site in the state of New Jersey?
Why is it considered the most haunted site in the state of New Jersey?
Why is that?
Because of Dr. Cotton's ghost and his evil experiments. His ghost is seen on the site.
Oh.
His the patients and ghostly activity that are seen are people missing limbs. So
well, that makes sense.
They're
That kinda-
assuming that they're the patients he
Yeah.
treated.
His victims.
His victims are missing body parts.
Amputee ghosts.
So you have amputee ghosts. There's disembodied voices are heard at the site.
Do you think amputee ghosts would still need crutches?
Probably. They don't know.
Maybe that's
They
why
still
they
wear
walk through,
clothes.
Maybe that's why they walk through walls, because they can't open doors.
Right. And
They
so
don't
then
have
I'm
hands.
wondering would be the need of a crutch if like you're ethereal and just can float.
It's the same as clothes. I think it's what you die with. I think it's how your
Yeah.
energy is, what your energy does.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that.
Maybe. I mean, like, but then again, like, most ghosts are viewed with clothing.
Right.
Okay, but there's got to be a certain percentage of people that die naked.
Naked, yeah.
But they're all seen with
Right.
clothing. In fact, in the thousands of ghost sites I've researched in Pennsylvania, there's only one naked ghost I've found, and it's in Lancaster. And
Well, now you got to tell us.
there were two girls in Lancaster, and there was a guy. The one daughter saw this naked guy out in the field, and he was moving rocks.
Naked guy
Essentially,
moving rocks in the field.
he's changing the property line of where he lived. Back then, 1700s, your property line was marked by rocks.
Sure.
Rocks or trees.
So in the
or-
middle
yeah.
of the
is
night,
mine.
if you want some more of your neighbor's yard, you just
go over and
move
Scooch
the
it an
rock,
inch every
move over
night.
a couple.
scooch it
Yeah.
over a little bit.
Gaslight
So,
your neighbor.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
there's a naked man in Lancaster that is randomly seen moving rocks in his yard in the nude.
Naked man ghost in Lancaster.
And just so you guys know, I do have a geotag, so we can go check out where the naked guy is if you want to see a naked ghost.
Yeah, man. Why
Of
not?
course.
I tried to get
Knock that one off my
the
bucket list.
AI program to make a picture, because all these things I
Yeah.
research when I put a picture against them, and oddly enough, AI was like, I am not
doing that.
doing this. I'm not creating a naked old man moving rocks. It just
When I
said
hear
no.
about a naked
on,
guy
AI.
in the woods, that makes me think werewolf, though. Like, like a changeling.
Oh
type
yeah,
thing,
like when he changed into the werewolf, the clothing got ripped off,
Right.
and he woke up.
Yeah, and now he's like,
Now he's naked.
on the way home, let's just change the
It would be much more
boundary lines.
fun if he was the naked boner ghost. That's
The naked boner
much,
ghost?
Much more fun, right? The naked boner ghost.
Possibly. I was thinking, like, if I think of a naked guy just appearing out of nowhere, my mind's going straight to Terminator.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Arnold Schwarzenegger zapped into the past.
see that.
So, but the site also has like screams are heard, moans are heard.
Disembodied voices.
Disembodied voices.
There's no body with this voice.
Now, it's also a lot of the sites abandoned. So, orbs. I am notorious for hating orbs.
Right.
There's so many natural things. I don't
Right.
care. But the other thing is phantom touches, being touched by unseen hands. That kind of freaks me out. That's a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't want to be touched by something I
No,
can't
I don't
see.
like that. Well,
I want to.
it depends.
I want to feel that.
It depends on the
Yeah.
spirit, right?
I mean, not around my throat or anything, but like,
I don't want nobody bad.
I want some
touching on
proof.
me.
No one bad, but if it's a
Right.
nice female ghost, you're like, yeah, you can touch me.
didn't we already talk about it? You
Nice
guys would totally
female
do a female ghost, right? Didn't we talk about that in the one episode about you'd
think
want to
so.
be with the nurse ghost?
Like Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. Ghostbusters started out with the librarian, and she was like, looked very nice. in the
True
beginning,
that.
And then, boom, she's evil looking.
See where he went immediately. He's been scarred by that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His answer is probably no. Plus, he's
Yeah.
married.
exactly.
Ain't no ghost going to get him.
So if you can legally get into this place, the places to check out are the Anne Klein Forensic Center, which
In the facility, within
within the facility, if you can get legal access, these are where I would send you.
Okay.
The Anne Klein Forensic Center is where they treated the most criminally and violently insane. So
You know there's some shit in there.
the most patient assaults that happened on site happened there. So there's a lot of energy in that
Yeah.
area.
And not great energy, it sounds like.
No.
Then there's the lab where Dr. Henry Cotton was cutting people up. That's not surprising that that's super active at that site.
The lab.
And just to give you an idea, his nickname is the Butcher of Trenton because of all
Yeah.
the shit he was doing. And then the women's ward. A lot of the women operated on well, the operations were carried out more on women than they were men.
Operations were.
The operations
Yeah.
were. So a lot of the people that were, being treated by Dr. Henry Cotton were females.
And that goes back to the whole, I mean, even root word, if you look at like hysterectomy, it's like people thought women were crazy because they had a uterus. And so a lot of times that was a cure for an insane woman was hysterectomy. And just kind of the root word of hysterical.
It's not all negative. Women got vibrators out of it. Like, that was just... Oh, didn't you know this?
Took a different turn.
Yeah. See?
Well,
You didn't know.
Vibrators were actually originally
be
a doctor's
thankful.
scientific instrument.
Yeah.
So, like, if you were hysterical, your husband would send you to the doctor so that he could use the hysterical device, which was a vibrator.
She's much calmer now. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't think girls were like against going to the doctor for this treatment.
Yeah. Come on, honey, you gotta go to the
I don't
doctor.
know, man.
Okay, I'm already in the car.
like, who knows?
You can stay home, honey.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be all into that.
Now, there's another building I read a lot about. This is the Forest building is actually really active. But, like, in all the sites, no one gives an exact reason why the Forest building is...
The Forest building?
Forest. F-O-R-S-T.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So I have no idea.
CED. That's what I was thinking.
Forest.
This is the Forest.
Forest building.
So, I'm happy to report that mental health has come a long way.
Yeah.
So we drove there, and you have a picture of what the site looks like today.
I do. Let's pull that guy up for you. Sorry. If my computer was faster.
And you can see the sign to the Trenton State, Trenton Psychiatric Hospital as it appears today.
Trenton Psychiatric. I can't even say it. Psychiatric Hospital. I can't even say it.
So that's pretty much what I was able to find out about that location. So, like, when we were there, like, I just thought it was huge.
It's huge, yeah.
It's a massive facility.
It was like we were driving forever trying to find the entrance.
Yeah.
And then everywhere was fenced in. There was no access.
We couldn't get in.
Yeah, so all the pictures we're seeing online, those people had to jump the fence. They had to climb the fence and get in illegally.
Is there a legal way to get in there, do you think? Are people open to it?
I'm sure there's legal ways.
Yeah.
I mean...
Especially if you're going to, like, film a show or somebody had permission.
I wonder what, like, the most recent one of those that has, most recent investigation has been done there.
I haven't seen any, like, nationally known teams go in.
Yeah.
To Trenton, but I would not be surprised if, like, Zach Baggins gets in there.
Right.
Or Ghost Hunters or something.
I was surprised because I did a little bit of
involved.
research just, like, on the history of it last night, and I kind of, like, didn't specifically search for haunted stuff, but absolutely nothing haunted came up about it when I was searching.
Really?
And I thought that was very strange because now you're telling me it's like one of the most haunted sites in New Jersey, yet when I just searched for it, it was all about the mispractice of this doctor and the butchery and...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was like the wall I was coming up against as well.
Yeah.
Like, you hear that it's the most haunted, but is it because it's simply a psychiatric hospital?
Right.
Like, what psychiatric hospital is not
Isn't
haunted?
known to be haunted. How about
It's
it?
like a theater.
Mm-hmm.
They're all haunted.
They're all haunted.
A covered bridge. They're all haunted.
Like a lure from within. I got you.
Yeah, it's almost like
a lure
it's a
from
trope.
within, but also just all the energy that's like through the
It's
years
gotta be.
is on a stage or going over the bridge or whatever.
Yeah,
exactly. It's gotta
constant
have that.
energy.
I agree. I think there's a lot of negativity that happened at these sites. Mm-hmm. So I'm not surprised that psychiatric hospitals have this negativity about them or this...
Even if it's just like residual, energy.
There's a lot of high energy that's going on in those types of places. So definitely, I would love to reach out to the Trenton Psychiatric Hospital and see if we could ever get legal access.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Now, we're planning on going to Pennhurst, so we'll go into that and get to do an investigation
Get
there.
a little experience there.
I'm hoping that'll be our Halloween episode this year.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
So, But that, my friends, is Trenton Lunatic Asylum, the name that I'm picking. Just because I like the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we work in the mental health field. All three of us have. And,
We do.
And so we definitely are glad that that's come a long way, because that's very scary. And yeah, if you have a loved one who's...
Yeah, if you've seen the images from that, what special is it called about the children?
Suffer the Children.
Suffer the Children. Yeah, those images are just like, you can't forget them after you see them.
And that's why when I picked images to show on the podcast today, I picked illustrations.
Right.
And I told Christy beforehand, I was like, I didn't want to use pictures of actual people.
Right.
Because we, working in the field,
Yeah.
we know people that have been a lobotomized.
Sure.
Been electric
Well, they
shock
still do
therapy.
shock treatment.
Yeah.
They do.
It's still offered.
My
nearby.
grandfather, he's no longer with us. I never even met him. He was deceased before I was born, but he was depressed because he had health issues, and they would give him electroshock therapy for depression.
For depression.
For depression.
And what's weirder than that is it tends to work. It tends to help people. That's why it's still used today, because
they just
now
need to
it's
find the
extreme
proper
cases. Yeah.
way to use it, I guess.
Yeah, that's what they do. It's very scientific. It's very whatever now, but they still do it.
But back when my grandfather was getting it, was in like the 40s, I think.
That's a whole different thing.
it
Yeah, that's a
was
different
not-
story.
Strap in, Johnny.
there are.
Yeah.
I don't want to say there's no positives, because, like, if you've ever looked into the VNS system, where like people are getting, they get a thing on their vagus nerve, and essentially, if they're having a seizure, which causes them to react and act out violently, it'll send electric shock therapy straight to the brain, and that will stop the seizure.
It's in you. We're robots now. You know this.
Right.
I'm a robot.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
was hoping. I didn't know for sure. I didn't mean to ask.
Yeah, I have. I'm Bluetooth connected.
Yeah,
I have
boy.
Bluetooth
Oh,
connectability.
that's right.
I
Who's some of
got
that robot?
the internal defibrillator.
All right.
So
You got a battery going on in that?
I do. I even
you
asked
robot.
the doctor if I could modify it to make the sounds I want. I want the death march for like if I was having a heart attack.
Yeah, you would.
I want something cool.
Bluetooth something good in, right?
Yeah, but they won't let me
Like
do
Pink
it.
Floyd. You got the
Taps.
Pink Floyd, so it changes from the heartbeat. You know?
Right? That'd be awesome. So,
Well, where were we? Trenton, New Jersey?
we are in
Trenton, New Jersey.
What did we eat for pizza that day? Let's find out. Trenton, New Jersey, we had Original Dominic's Pizza in Trenton, New Jersey. I don't remember why we chose
Do we have a
that
picture
one.
of this one?
I don't. I looked all over. If I had a picture, I do not.
Yeah.
Original Dominic's in Trenton, New Jersey. So I remember this is, I think, the last one of the day for us. If I'm
It was.
because we ended up in Trenton. It says, looked like it may be used to be a convenience store. Oh yeah, got reheated slices. Remember this?
Yeah.
It was kind of. It looked like used to be a gas station.
Yeah, kind of like an old gas station, I would
Like
think.
there's definitely like a counter, a front counter where you could probably buy lotto tickets 10 years ago there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Penny
Maybe even
candy.
still now, and candy, and cigarettes. But anyway, it was on our list that day. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Well, we always look to see first of all, what's near the site we're investigating.
If anybody recommends anything,
Right. Go by local
but no one
recommendations
didn't
first.
have any of that.
Then we go by. Then we look at like ratings too. So like, if there's
Yeah,
a
we usually try to
couple,
find ratings on a couple different sites.
if they're all close, then we'll typically
Yeah.
try and go to the one that has the higher
I
rating.
think we went to that one because A, it was close, and B, the rating was 4.0 or
it was like a
up.
decent rating,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
on
I think
something.
so.
Anyway, looked like it maybe used to, got reheated slices. Steve gave it a 3.75 out of 5. So your answer
not
was,
bad.
it was good. I like the crust, but something with the cheese was not hitting it for me.
Okay, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Pretty good pepperoni, and I liked the sauce. The outside didn't look enticing, but the inside followed through. Oh, that's like poetic. You're getting like good at these.
It looked kind of ghetto from outside.
but the pizza looked good
But
when
the
you
inside
looked at
followed
it.
through.
Yeah, the pizza looked good.
Christy, 3.25. So 3.25 out of 5.
Yeah, that's not bad for me.
That's a real good score.
Yeah.
Mildly greasy.
I always say it's
Mildly
greasy.
greasy. The crust was adequate.
Adequate probably to hold up the toppings. You know what I mean?
It was adequate.
Yeah, because sometimes it's so thin, and there's like no hold to it at all.
No, like a flop, you mean?
Like an extreme flop. But this, I don't think, had an extreme flop. It was just
Yeah, I don't
it
think
was
so.
adequate.
Adequate.
Yeah.
I thought the pepperoni had a funny flavor. Oh, so you didn't like the pepperoni. He didn't like the cheese, and you didn't like the pepperoni. Reminded me of an OIP type pizza is what you said.
Okay. So, yeah. Decent pizza. Nothing to write home about.
I don't know. I give it a 3.5. A 3.5 out of 5. That's a solid pizza for me. This pizza hit the spot, is what I said. Wish it wasn't reheated. Would have been a higher score. But made the crust nice and crispy. It had a pretty healthy amount of garlic in the sauce, and that actually worked on its flavor for me. Or to its favor, I'm sorry. Good amount of cheese. Oh, well, there you go. You had me sold on good amount of cheese.
Oh, definitely.
I should have started with that. So, yeah, original Dominic's Pizza, Trenton, New Jersey. Good job overall.
And if
Looks
I
like a
remember
3.5
correctly,
overall.
That was our third spot of the day, and that was a winner. All 3 sites.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Decent pizza.
That's right.
That does not happen often.
That does
No,
not
and for
happen.
us to have decent scores like that on the third shop of the day, that's good.
Yeah, 'cause-
That's real good.
Yeah, because if they were the first and the pizza was still the
Sometimes,
same,
yeah.
I wonder if they'd go up like 25% or 50%.
No, if
If they were the first ones.
might.
But
First definitely has an advantage.
I definitely think I'd say we'd haunt that place.
I
You
would
know,
haunt that
if-
place. Yeah, this pizza hit the spot is what I said. I would
So-
haunt that place.
I'd eat there again.
And
I'd probably ghost it.
I'm a sucker for a reheated slice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
3.25. It's right under your radar.
Yeah, like because I could get
You're not
pizza
trying to
just
go
like
in there.
that anywhere else.
OIP.
Yeah, so
Fair enough.
And it wasn't like we said. It kind of looked like a convenience
But if
store.
you went
so.
to a party
Yeah,
and
those
that
people
was
were
the
cool,
pizza,
remember? They
Oh,
were
yeah.
cool in there.
The pizza. I mean, the people are always cool to us. They're always nice.
I don't know.
I don't
you
remember that.
The barn.
Huh?
Oh,
I'm not
the
calling
one you
anybody
guys
out
are-
right now.
Yeah,
Oh.
don't call people out.
Don't do that, Steve.
Wait, was it the barn? Okay, now you did it.
Located in.
I don't even remember. Where was
No, it
that?
is
Eagle smear.
because I said that I didn't
For
notice
eagle
it, and
smear?
you guys were like, "Oh, well, you're a girl."
No,
That's why you
the
didn't
people
notice
were
It
it.
very
wasn't
nice
the
in there.
staff.
No,
It
people were
wasn't
very-
the staff.
It was the locals.
The locals. Not the staff. The staff was actually really nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Any kind of staff person from any pizza shop. Has
Yeah,
always
staff
been
people
pretty
have
cool.
to be nice to you, though.
We'll get there.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. I know what you're foreshadowing now.
All right, yeah.
To be continued.
TBD.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
anyway, most people are very nice to
Yeah,
us when
most
we're in
people
there
are
eating
very
pizza.
nice.
Most people. Cordial to that.
I would think so.
Is that all for Trenton, New Jersey
That
today?
is it for Trenton, New Jersey.
We had a good time on that trip.
We did.
Yeah. It's a great
A
time.
little cold that time of the year.
It was a little cold, but not too bad. That was the day we were tromping around Doylestown, New Hope, and
Oh, yeah.
Lambertville.
All kinds of good stuff.
So
that
we were
day.
all over the place that day.
Mm-hmm.
And also by the third place, we might have had a drink or two in us by then, too. So
More than likely.
most likely.
More than likely.
But if that's it for Trenton, please like, subscribe, follow, all that fun stuff. Please, it does help. Comment on the video. Tell us what you want to see. Tell us what you didn't like. Make fun of Steve's hat. Make fun of my hair. Do what you got to do. But
Thank you, everyone, and join us next time you crave a slice of the paranormal.
This podcast was produced by Stone State Entertainment.